Start off. Hello, everyone. You are attending a District 6860 webinar for the District Grant Final Report. I'm Ron Brown along with Dennis Sanders, and we are your presenters for this webinar, which will last the best part of an hour. So let us begin. All right. The topics that we're going to cover tonight are critical dates and the login and the tabs, the budget, the documents, and the final report, and how to sign off and how to actually submit the final report and what it takes to get the approval. Our critical dates, the final reports are always due 30 days after your target completion date that you established in your application when you filled it out. And your project is going to has to be completed no later than May the 15th, 2018. And then you have 30 days to file your final report, which would be no later than June the 15th, 2018. Logging in, when you log into DACDB, we're going to make the assumption that everyone here knows how to log into DACDB. If not, I'm sure there's someone sitting next to you or in your club who can help you out with that. And once you do, you go up on the top ribbon there and click on grants, and then you click on club grants, and that will get you into your specific grant. From there, you click on the little yellow edit pencil, and it'll show an approved grant. And if you don't click on the edit pencil, that is the only way that you can edit your grants. That's the only way you can get in to sign your grants. You can't do anything unless you click on that yellow edit pencil. If that edit pencil is not, say again?
You're about to make that point I was going to ask about.
Yeah, if the edit pencil is not there, that usually means that you are not authorized to make edits to your grant, which usually means you have not been put on the person, I forgot how it's phrased, permission to sign your grant list.
Yeah,
which
signatures.
Signatures. We will go over how to do that on like slide 15. Dennis will take care of that. But and that's for some reason a common thing to happen, because every year DACDB goes through and sweeps all the signatures at the end of the Rotary year, and the clubs have to re-enter everyone. But at any time, if you find that you're not there, your club lead, your club grant lead can put you over there. You just open it up and slide your name over, and it'll approve it, and then the DACDB software will like you once again. We are using, as you can see, the Madison Club, and we call it Sandbox down there as a demonstration slides. They're nice to be guinea pigs for us tonight. Okay, Dennis. We can start off with the budget tab. You can address any of the tabs in any rotation that you want to. We just started off this way. After you've completed your project, you need to go back into your budget tab. You click on your budget tab to get in it, and the screenshot is what it will show you. And what it is showing you is your proposed expenses and proposed income from your application. You need to make those the actual amounts that you spent. And if you had any additional income sources, those need to be added. Sometimes you don't spend as much as you think. A lot of times, some people get a little bit better deal than they thought when they were buying in quantity, and sometimes the shipping is not quite as much. So you need to make all those adjustments. And then in the budget summary, that has to zero out. And it'll always zero out unless you have to come up with a refund, and then that'll be addressed a little bit later. And after that, we have the Documents tab. Documents tab is all of the financial documentation plus images that it takes to support your project and show what you have spent your money on, basically. And it comes in the form of paid invoices, receipts, or canceled checks. Canceled checks means the front and back. Bank statements, photos, any other supporting documentation, and it has to all be in a digital form. You have to scan it, in other words. The canceled checks, some people have told me, their banks don't do that. Well, you go into, my mind just went blank.
To your online statement, maybe.
Yeah, I forgot. Online banking. There we go. Thank you. If you don't have an online banking with your club account, I encourage you to open one up. You don't have to use it to transfer money or anything like that. You can simply use it to track your checks and which ones have cleared and which ones haven't. A cleared check, you can go down and put a fine, put in the check number, it'll bring it up and it'll show you both sides, and you just hit print. And you can print usually a PDF. If not, print it and make a PDF and upload it into your document section, and you're done. The digital documents that you upload into the document section, please make them legible and large enough to read. A lot of people just do it, click it, and send it in, and don't review it. Please review it. If you can't read it, then we can't read it. If the image that you scanned is literally the size of your thumbnail, once we blow it up, it'll be so blurry that it's not usable. And all of your receipts must total up to at least the district grant amount awarded to you or approved to your grant. If not, there's going to have to be a refund, and you really don't want to do that. It's in your best interest to spend the money that was awarded to you for your grant for the purpose of your grant. Back up, Dennis.
Sorry about that. I'm trying.
I know. Yes. Spend everything. Spend your grant money on your grant. And if you have money left over that wasn't in what you anticipated on spending, get a hold of me. I'll help you. We will find something and spend it in the interest of your grant if we possibly can. Doing a refund is a big headache and a lot of paperwork for a lot of people. So we would really love to avoid that if we possibly can. In the interest of making things nice and clear, I have attached a currency conversion spreadsheet in everyone's approved application whenever it was, July, August, if they had a project in a foreign country that did not use American dollars. And it's a pretty self-explanatory spreadsheet. You have the currency of the company, of the country, and you convert it to US dollars, and then everybody knows what the total amount is that you've spent in the interest. And it's very clear. So, and always don't forget, never ever forget, the documents tab is always unlocked. No matter what, you can upload to there anytime. When everything is complete in the documents that then you always save it one more time. Okay. And here we go. And this is a screenshot. You click on the documents tab. We do like that to make things, and what you're seeing here is the home screen with the little red arrow there on the left, just to identify it. And you can click on the upload on the far right hand side when you want to upload the documents. You can upload them directly to the home folder right there. That'll be great. That way it makes it easy to find immediately. And we do ask that you upload all of your photos and images to the image file there with the red arrow. We do like to see images of your project and what you've accomplished, and it's good PR for your club also. Okay, Dennis. 9. Oh yes, there's some housekeeping as far as images and files go. The DACDB software, when you're in documents, does not like special characters attached to the file name, and also dashes and underscores are recognized as special characters also. And like I said on the previous slide, you insert your financial documents in the home folder and the photos in the image, and it keeps everything very nicely organized for anyone that wants to look at it. Our final report tab, just click on the final report tab. It will take you into that, and it is a little different than it was during our training sessions. Where did I go? From last May. The training sessions were showed that the documents project description were auto-populated on 1 and 3. DACDB changed their software, so they are no longer auto-populated. So now you have to go. They were auto-populated from the details tab with your project description. So all you had to do was go in there and change it from proposed to what you accomplished. Now you're going to have to cut and paste, or you can do it from scratch if you wish. But it'd probably be a lot easier if you just cut and paste from the details tab on 1 and 3. 7. So if you do a copy and paste your details tab there. Okay, there's my issue. You can put it in and then come in behind it at the tail end of the project description there and add to the paragraph and show exactly what you've accomplished, what your project accomplished and what your impact was. And on section 2, you need to just fill in the number, and section 3 again, that's one of them that was auto-populated, but it's not. You can find that on the details tab if you need to refresh your memory of what you actually said, but it needs to be what you accomplished. And then, like I say, it's pretty self-explanatory on how many Rotarians have participated. And then down on number 6 there, if you give a cooperating organization, who was involved and what were their role. All right, Dennis, I think it's time for you to go, right?
Section 6, I will say one more point about that. If you identified a cooperating organization, that was done in the application tab. So you can go back in there and confirm whether or not you identified one. And at the time you applied, if you identified one, I'm pretty sure, Ron, you required some memo of agreement, that sort of thing.
That's correct. That goes in the document section. So
you'll be aware if you had one, probably because of the work you had to do to document that.
That's true. And sometimes along the way during the project, they add one. So it works either way.
Gotcha. Okay. Once you filled out all of the sections on the final report tab, you'll see up to the right and above of all the tabs is a Save Final Report box. We encourage you to click that many times as you go through so that you don't lose anything and have to redo your work. One last time, once you think you've gotten everything in, click on the Save Final Report. Just to let you know what's going on under the hood, there is a PDF file that's created in the Documents tab whenever you click that Save Final Report button. It's named Final Report Dash and then a timestamp. As you can see, the example I give here, it stands for 2018, January 22nd, and then some number of seconds or whatever from midnight. Okay, if you look at this file, which we encourage you to do as well, you will see that information has been accumulated there as you have filled in the tabs. In addition to the first 6 items that you have been responsible for filling in, some of the sections below number 6 get filled in automatically. Like there's financial information that will be plugged in from the budget tab. There are certifying signatures that will be plugged in from the signatures tab. Your photos and your financial documents will come in from the documents tab, and the image, either the home folder or the images folder, as we discussed earlier. Again, once you have collected all this, make sure that it ended up in your PDF file. You're ready to collect your final signatures. The signatures, one of the most frequent errors that we get is that people who thought they were supposed to be able to sign the grant can't sign it. The reason is typically that you have not placed the people in the club signatures list. If you go to the club navigation bar that's on the left-hand side of your grant window, click on that. It will drop down and show you the club signatures. Click on club signatures. You'll see the screen image that I have here. It's got 2 boxes. On the lower right-hand side is a box that shows all of the approved signers. If everybody's in there that's not supposed to be, find them on the box on the left-hand side, highlight them, and then click the right arrows that you see circled in red. And once you have everybody that you want in your signature permission list, click on the yellow Save button in the upper left. And then you should have everybody authorized to sign that needs to be. All right, I guess another thing that confuses people is that there's a signatures tab, which is really just for collecting signature history. A lot of people think that when they take an action related to signatures, they're supposed to go to the signature tab to begin that action. That's not the case, unfortunately. In order to begin the process of collecting signatures, you look in the upper right-hand corner of your grant window. You'll see Club Collect Final Signatures. You click on that. You will need to, when you click on that, an email will be sent to everybody in that signature list that we just discussed in the previous slide. I didn't mention as well that your current club president should be one of the people in that list, because it's mandatory that your sitting club president be one of the 2 signers, and then the other signer may or may not be you. You may have somebody else in the club, maybe your treasurer or something that your bylaws require to sign the grant. There are various rules in various clubs.
Point. It is always a good idea to have more than 2 people as authorized signers, because life happens and sometimes people have to be out of town or they just can't be where they need to be in order to sign. And if you have someone else available that can do that task, it makes it a lot easier for everyone. The president's really the only one that's on the hook. Okay.
Okay. All right. At this point, probably you're done for the night in terms of getting your grant in order, and these emails have gone out, and at some point, maybe the next day, maybe the next 5 minutes, uh, uh, somebody will want to sign the grant. So what anybody does that has received one of these emails is they go log back into DACDB if they're not already in there, uh, and they will click on the grants tab, as you see circled in red, and then click on club grants, and then again you'll click on the edit pencil. So the same process that you use to get in to start writing your report is the process you use to get in to sign the grant. I'll also stress that the other signer or signers may not be very familiar with DACDB, and you may have to help guide them through that. So you may want to pass this slideshow, or maybe extract these slides out of that slideshow, and give them a copy of it to kind of get them down the road toward figuring out how to sign the grant. So if they have gotten to the edit pencil, they click on the edit pencil. They will see in the upper right hand corner the club sign final report box. Again, I'll stress that the signature tab is a static thing. You don't take any action out of that tab. You just confirm that things were placed in the signature log along the way. Once you've clicked on that sign grant box, you'll see a dialog that looks like this. There are two main points about this. Once you have initiated the signature process, you should see a sign grant box down at the bottom. If you don't see a sign grant box at the bottom, that means that you have already signed. So we've had people actually lose track of who's signed when. And they've contacted us, hey, I've gotten in and I can't see this signed grant box. If you've gotten to this point, if you're in the signature list and you got the email and you're logged in and you got to this point, then the only reason that you wouldn't see the box is if you have already signed. Okay, once your two signatures are collected, you will see the submit final report box in the upper right corner. That means that you're ready to submit this to the district grant committee. Once you have done that, I think there's one special point that Ron wants to make at the bottom of this slide.
Absolutely. You can't omit the final step. You've got to push the submit final report button. Click on that button. Otherwise, it's kind of like if you sign an agreement on your desk and let it lay there rather than sticking it in the mail. It never goes anywhere and never gets addressed the way it's supposed to. So always remember, when you're signing the signing your final report does not submit the final report. You have to click that final button to do that, the submit final report button. And what happens next, after you've submitted your final report to the district grant subcommittee team will review it and all the associated documents for any issues or concerns. Our main goal is to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. So when we send it back, final report back as a block grant to the Rotary Foundation, they don't reject it. That's why we get nitpicky, because we think we understand exactly what they're looking for, and the potholes that they gig us on, and then we do our best to get with you and get all that stuff corrected, so they don't kick it back on us. And in that flavor, you know, we interact with your team to get the approval of your grant, and a lot of times it involves modifying the report. And if we have to modify the final report, it will necessitate resubmitting the final report, which means you have to, if we have to unlock it, you have to re-sign it. If all it takes is uploading material or documents to the document section, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to re-sign it at all. But during the, and here's an issue that has come up. All of the, in your applications tab, there's a contact list that your club grant lead fills out. He adds people to that. And every time that the grant subcommittee sends out a P-mail, every single person automatically gets a copy of that P-mail. And I have had, you know, emails back to me from these people, some of these people saying, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, take me off this list, da 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 da. And I have to tell them, look, I didn't put you on there. You need to contact your grant lead, and they will take you off. So it's always a good idea to have more than 1 or 2 people on there, but not 10 or 11, because like I say, things happen. And if you have an assistant, if you're the main lead, then if you have to be away for a few days or whatever, they can step in and keep the grant going while you're gone. After your final report is approved, you will receive another email telling you that it is approved and your grant status for that particular grant is changed to closed. That means you're done for this particular grant. Okay, and also if you didn't spend all of the money and we're not able to spend it all, then you're going to have to make arrangements through the grant subcommittee chair to remit the funds to the Rotary Foundation through District 6860, which takes, like I say, it takes a while. There's a lot of forms, checks to write, and all that good stuff, and it is truly to the club's benefit if we can find a way to spend the money on your project. We certainly will do our best to make that happen. So now, congratulations, you've completed your district grant, and you need to know that is one of the qualifications for your club to make application for future grants. So tonight we have covered critical dates, logins, and the tabs, the budget document and final, and the signatures and the final report submissions, and the district grants approval. If you have any questions, please type them in. We do our best to answer them, to address them. Final slide. There we go. We have a resources slide. This slideshow, well, actually, you can go on the district website, Rotary 6860, and you can find all of the documents that are related to district grants, whether they're district grant and global grants. This particular slideshow will also be put on the 6860 website at the same location. And this GoToMeeting session will be posted on YouTube.
And Ron, I can
for everybody.
I think I'm
Go ahead.
To give people a look at the website, just to kind of reinforce how to get there. If you can see this, all you do is go to the rotary drop down. Hello.
Drop down.
Doesn't want to drop down. Anyway, I don't know if you can see me waving my cursor, but the rotary drop down, then the first item under rotary drop down is foundation grants. And then there's a page that has all the links to all the documents that we talked about through the whole process of doing your district grant.
All right, I think we're pretty close to done here. I hope that the information that we presented will help you toward finalizing your final report. And we thank you for attending.